Let me thank IPS for inviting me here and giving me this opportunity to speak on a very pertinent issue, that is the implications of SCO 2023 on the region, entire region. So let me begin with the same theme, which has already been pointed out. Well, as far as the theme was concerned, this has already been explained that there are 5 points, basically 6 points, but these 6 points again derived from this acronym that is SECURE. SECURE is actually not given by any other state except India. So this term was coined back in 2018, and there are some kind of indications which India literally wanted to bring on the table. So it's related to security. Its first concern is security. Its second important concern was economy and trade, that it is entrusted in the region to boost trade and economy. Third point was indeed connectivity, that is regional connectivity, but here the connectivity in this document, that is New Delhi Declaration, one can point out that there were 2 themes basically, the cooperation, that was also the digital cooperation between the states and the digital integration. So it means that India itself is focusing on the points which is actually embedded there in the SCO's charter largely. The SCO charter is not merely saying that to secure the region merely, it is also focusing on the regional integration and connectivity between the states. I'm perhaps illiterate. It's not working. Anyway, so this was the towards the secure SCO. This was the theme basically. Now, as far as the SCO Summit's highlights were concerned, these are again highlighted, but let me point out some of the important areas. For example, when we learned this, that India wanted to connect with the entire region, but here the missing point is that India simultaneously is also asking that without naming any country, that there should not be any use of terrorist or the state-sponsored terrorism, and for that purpose the SCO members should be united. So this was quite clear that what India literally wanted to point out and highlight and misuse the platform, because it was already understood, and as far as its reservations on BRI were concerned, which we saw there in the New Delhi Declaration 23. Again, to my mind, this was the old kind of pattern of India's thinking, because we all know that India was not happy even at the time of the initiation of these projects, BRI and the flagship project CPAC. So definitely Ambassador Syed Ibrahim Sahab has rightly pointed out that it's the reservation on Kashmir and its stance. So, but the problem is that everybody knows that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, this is for the regional integration, and regional integration, it would not be possible without solving these issues which are largely embedded there in history. So one can see that India-Pakistan's case is it may be unique in terms of its long history, but one can see that there were other problems between even Russia and China, but one can see the resolution of those conflicts from the platform of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So this gives us some kind of possibilities and some kind of indications are there that what would be the future. And the last point which we are time and again highlighting, that India used this platform and used this presidency it was a wrong use of that seat, that it started to play the same game which it has been playing since long. Now, My other points are that what were the stances of different states. So if we just particularly look at India, so except this, one cannot find that what was the most irritating point in the entire declaration and the entire speech, sorry, of India's Prime Minister Modi. Now, as far as China was concerned, the most intriguing point was that it pointed out, President of China pointed out that countries should remain vigilant against the external attempts to start a new Cold War. It means that those countries which are involved nowadays in the region and they are trying to use some kind of, actors for the sake of its own purposes, and they are instigating some conflicts, unnecessary conflicts within the region. So China was trying to, as far as Russia was concerned, yes, everybody knows that Russia recently, came out of this Wagner group that appeared in Russia, and this was indeed Russia was trying to use this platform and conveying this message that such kind of happenings which is within Russia and outside Russia. For example, the Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine war. So this is making Russia more resilient. So it means that Russia very intelligently use this platform. Now, while looking at Kazakhstan's stance, why I'm bringing one Central Asian states as well while discussing these state stance, because it is very important, because Kazakhstan, you can see that it was neither under the influence of India, nor it was very much tilted towards any external power side. So we can see that the speech was based on this closer energy cooperation within the member states. So Pakistan very intelligently presented its case, and there was a full support of Pakistan to fight against the terrorism, and Pakistan also emphasized that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's member, they should act together. So it means that there wasn't any kind of bad taste. I mean, Pakistan was agreeing on all the points which were presented by India. So the very next point is that now the main point is that we all are worried over that will India's strategy work in future. So because this presidency of SCO is currently in the hands of India, so how it would be using this organization? To my mind, politicizing this organization would be very bad for India. Why? Because India itself is struggling hard to penetrate into the educational institutes, into the think tanks, and in the media of Central Asian states. So it would be very difficult if India start utilizing this organization or politicizing this organization just as India did there from the platform of SAARC. So it would be bad for India. Second thing is that Shanghai Cooperation Organization states they are vividly cultivating a new type of relations. And what type of relations? It is embedded largely there into a scholarly work that was presented by Ole Wever and Barry Buzan. And this is a very famous theory that says that the regional security complex, that says that regions have their own peculiarities, and the solutions are there for, solutions should be regional. So this is a very solid point, and nowadays there is a realization of this thing, and this theoretical framework is largely embedded even in different states' foreign policy makers' minds, that state should avoid, I mean, the global confrontation. So how to deal with it? Their solutions are largely embedded in their own regional states. So with this point, I would also like to point out that what effects it would bring on member states, because these implications are not merely for Pakistan. One can see it that these new connectivity programs, which nowadays India is trying to initiate, because it is that there was a story like back in 2 to 3 years, when it was pointing out that the Chabahar port, it can be used. So such kind of projects, or the connectivity projects, which India is trying to bring on the table nowadays and trying to entice different states, that again it is also talking about regional connectivity. So to my mind, that this would bring distraction in the region, and which would not be good for the other members of SCO. So China is a dominant state there in Shanghai Cooperation Organization. I'm not ignoring the role of Russia, and we all saw that the Eurasian Economic Union, that is also there would be a strong partnership between BRI and EAEU. But one can see that China's role is here more important, and whosoever is deviating would be in problem. So the failure of regional forums, this is another important point which I want to bring over here, because SARC is in front of us. What is the success of SARC? It's nothing just because India's stubborn behavior. So if India start behaving like this, so it would be a failure of this regional forum again. And I think this presidency, it shows that India is a brat. I mean, let China deal with it instead of dealing with India directly. Pakistan should not deal with India directly over this matter, and that's why I said that very intelligently Pakistan presented its case there on the platform of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So regional harmony is also critical issue for India. So because India is trying to be a dominating state, not only in the region, but now there are aspirations that it would be a global power soon. So in order to understand that way, we should also see that there are interests of India as well. Now, China is more accepted and integrated in the global economy for the timing, so one can see that it is the only one power which is trying to, things are moving behind the scene, because whatever we are watching, it may not be like that, because there are some issues, because I used to find, kind of narratives where it is said that China and India, see their bilateral trade, it is increasing. Yes, this is there, but one cannot ignore a military standoff, long military standoff between China and India. So keeping in view all that, I foresee that China would be the only one state which can solve these regional issues. Not like as you and I think, this may be a different way, and that you can see that on most of the point, China is, favoring Pakistan's stance on different platforms, and it is quite on so many issues as well. So as far as the potential of Shanghai Cooperation organizations to create synergy is concerned, and it is also, a right platform which is meeting the expectations of the states. So unlike SARC or other organizations, failed organizations like ECO is in front of us. I mean, dormancy shows, I'm not saying that that these are dead, but one can see that their status is dormant. As far as the other last point which I want to bring, why I'm saying that the potential of SCO is more as compared to other organizations, because recently India changed its, mode of conduct this this summit. So what was the reason behind that? There are multiple reasons which India is presenting nowadays, but what was the intention? The intention was that it would be, organize this on the disputed territory. So that, but one can see that 11th hour they had to take this decision that no, now it would be online. But now I saw these narratives as well, where India is proclaiming that no, we were not sure about it, that whether we will be conducting it online, or they proclaim that this is just because another meeting that is of G20, which would happen there in September. So that's why we thought that one meeting is enough with all these members. But everybody knows that that region was not the right place. As far as now the particular implications for Pakistan. Now, implications for other countries, implications for Pakistan. I think Pakistan should remain focused, and as it is a hub of trade, and nobody can ignore its geostrategic location, and its projects are already going on with the Central Asian republics, namely CASA 1000. Now the different organizations are supporting it. Previously, it was supported by America, but now we can see that the International Development Association, they are helping these kind of projects. Then TAPI, yes, historically speaking, someone else was supporting it, but still it is there, though there is a slow progress. But one can see that ADB is there. Then Trans-Afghan Transport Corridor, which is nowadays there in the limelight, and newspapers are full of this corridor, that the railway corridor, railroad with which we are constructing with Uzbekistan. It would connect Tirmiz and Peshawar through Kabul. So these are, some of the projects which are already going on, and I cannot see intervention of India into it except this. And these are, very feasible projects. The only thing is that we have to, pacify Afghanistan, because Afghanistan is only the one reason which is curbing us that not to proceed. And Afghanistan's precarious security situation, this is in front of us, and we know that after this America's withdrawal from Afghanistan, US forces withdrawal from Afghanistan, the situation is a bit in control. Now, while looking at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization other project, which we can see that because SCO is to implement trans-regional initiatives, so CPEC for the timing is unacceptable for India. But if we look at the economic corridors, these are not merely for India. Other economic corridors, these are to help all the countries which are participating and which are going to get benefits out of these connectivity projects. Some of the ideas for Pakistan very quickly, so multilateral diplomacy, it suits Pakistan currently, to my mind, instead of bilateral talks with India. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, this has become more relevant after the US withdrawal from Afghanistan. And the solution of the economic meltdown and the security conundrum of this region, there is no other solution, available solution. And everybody knows the situation in Afghanistan, particularly during the time of America's long stay. And now we can see that security situation, though it is very difficult, but gradually it would be okay. And the other points I have already discussed. Some of the recommendations which I think are very important, because this is a very prestigious platform, and I think our voices would definitely reach to the right places. Pakistan, it still carries the image of state supporting the Afghan Taliban. So there is some of the problems, and this is a stigma for Pakistan. So we should deal with it very rationally, and we need to correct this image currently. Otherwise, countries would definitely use these platforms against us. Pakistan should not make any effort for bilateral contact with India. Now, this should be the turn of India to initiate talks first, instead of this, that we strived hard to initiate talks in different time periods, but now we should stop. As far as the further interaction among academicians are concerned, everybody, particularly in universities abroad, knows that Indian students and are very active, and they have union kind of system as well, where they can gather their students. So I think that there is a dire need that our government should focus on the academic side now, and the joint research initiatives we need to, because this is a way to initiate your soft image. And then cultural diplomacy is another sector. The last is that tourism. There is a dire need to pay attention on these 4 sectors, so that we can shun this notion, whatever is prevailing outside Pakistan. So we need to work on it particularly. With this, I would like to thank you all. If there is any question, so you can ask after whole session. Thank you so much, sir.